Now on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Joining us now, playoff-bound Longview Lobos head football coach John King. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great, Bryan.
Congratulations on the 40-7 win over Rockwall on senior night. It clinched the district's top Division II seed. How you feeling about your football team going into the playoffs?
Well, we played well the last 3 weeks, and other than a bad quarter, a bad half throughout the year, I think that our football team's progressed where it needs to be, and we're playoff bound and tickled pink to be here. Tell me
a little bit about the win over Rockwall. It looked like it was over at halftime.
Well, we were able to come out and didn't allow them to run the football on us and made them go to their attack, and that's something they're not as effective doing as they are running it, and offensively we were able to get some big plays in short grass and get out to a 37-0 lead there at the half.
You put up some big rushing yardage on those guys. It looks like that running game is really moving now.
Well, it was definitely been a strong suit for us the last few weeks, and I think that our offensive line has improved from week to week, and of course we've used quite a few running backs, and all of them have performed well. So we're definitely pleased with the effort and production we're getting there, and but things are going to get tougher now, and we're going to have to continue to improve in some areas we're lacking in, and hopefully have an opportunity to keep playing late in December.
You got to be pretty proud of the way your team closed the year out with that 3-game winning streak, though, and the defense playing as well as it has now with 16 points given up in 3 ball games.
Yeah, well, 7 of them are on the offense the other night. They were trying to fumble, but they played well they played well all year long. We gave up some uncharacteristically big plays against Coppell and just didn't play well that game, but ever since then, I feel like our defense has played well each game.
You've been in this situation so many times. Now, how many years in a row now are we talking about Longview in the playoffs under you?
Well, I know our playoff streak goes back to 2001.
Wow.
So it's looking at 11 years that we've had an opportunity to go to the postseason. I think that's great, and we're just going to try to take it 1 week at a time and hopefully stick around each week.
What's that mean to your football team to have that kind of a streak in the playoffs when they go into the postseason? You're talking about a team here this year that struggled a little bit more than Longview teams normally do because of injuries and things like that, losing Bivens, Caraway, and people like that. But what does that kind of a streak do to help you getting ready for a playoff game?
Well, our kids know how to handle playoff preparation and what we ask of them through, each and every week, and basically they understand the routine that we follow. The seniors that are on this football team have played in 8 playoff games. 5 is, those that played as sophomores. They played 5 in 2010 and 3 last year. So, the postseason it won't be anything that's just, new to them or something they hadn't been exposed to. So, that leadership's what we're going to feed off of and get those kids to help these younger ones understand the importance of preparation during the week and getting ready to play the game 4 o'clock on Saturday. We don't need to play it today, tomorrow. We need to prepare to play it for Saturday.
As far as getting a young quarterback ready for a playoff game like this, you don't have a Bivens Caraway that's been in this situation before. You got Desmond Chumley coming in. You comfortable with him going into these playoff games?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to ask him to do too much. I mean, we've added a little bit each and every week, and like I've said all along, the 10 guys out there with him need to play better, and make his job a little bit easier. But, we've added a little bit. We've asked him to do a little bit more each and every week and try to bring him along gradually and not overload his plate, and have him playing and understanding what it is we want him to do as opposed to, it seemed like every snap's a different play or a play he's never heard of. But, we're confident what he's been able to get done in the last few weeks. He's played well. Had our moments, but that's to be expected with a new and a young quarterback. But we're definitely pleased with his progress.
I have to ask you, too, about the emotions of your football team, knowing that one of the Longview senior soccer players was killed last week in a car accident. Talk a little bit about how that impacted your football team.
Well, it was a rough week, and the young man that was killed in the accident was a great friend to all the students here at Longview, particularly all the athletes. But we've got several kids on our football team that were members of the soccer team that were really close to him, and our seniors. You know, he was a well-liked kid amongst all of our seniors. So it was tough. It was difficult, and our senior pep rally Friday really got emotional, and you know, it was a great tribute to Christian, what they did at the senior pep rally, and our kids were a little emotional about it, as to be expected, and it was definitely something that touched your heart and made you appreciate what you have.
And I saw where during the ball game following a score, you had some of your players after the punt return for a touchdown run over to a sign that was in honor of Christian Monreal, and I thought that was kind of neat.
I did too, you know, and I didn't get upset about it. And if they had thrown every flag they had in their pockets, I wouldn't have cared. But I thought that was very fitting, and you know, and the kids did it for the right reasons, you know, and it wasn't something that was premeditated. It was just something that happened, and you know, and I thought it was acceptable, you know, in my eyes, and what they did. And I thought it was just a great tribute to Christian.
What do you know about Rowlett?
Well, they've gotten better each week. They finally settled down offensively, and you know, the quarterback's playing a lot better. They lost their stud running back in the Rhodes kid, who's a Texas Tech commit, so they had to overcome that, kind of like we did early on. But they've gotten hot lately and did what they needed to do to get in the playoffs, similar to us. They have won 3 district games in a row, punched their ticket to the postseason, and they've been here before. Kev Harden's done a great job with this program, and you know, those guys definitely be prepared. They've knocked off some great football teams in the playoffs in years past. Think back to 2007, where they knocked off a 10-0 Allen team in the first round, and last year they made a run three rounds deep and really should have won that ball game. But they're not your average 4-6 football team. Let's put it that way.
So it shouldn't be any problem then getting your team's attention and you know, not having to worry about them looking at the record and going, oh, this will be an easy one tonight.
Well, I sure hope we don't try to play the game on paper, you know, and it's something that's going to be driven home each day. And you know, our first team meeting we have about this opponent, that's going to be what we talk about. I mean, it's an even playing field, level playing field. Records don't matter, and everybody's after the same goal, surviving week to week. And hopefully our kids have been here enough and understand what it takes in the playoffs and been in these tough situations that they're prepared to win the game come Saturday.
Well, Coach, thanks very much for talking with us. Best of luck to you in the playoffs,
okay.
And we'll be talking to you down the line, okay?
Appreciate it, Bryan. Okay,
thanks a lot. John King, the Longview head coach on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM.